Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Football Uncensored. I'm Don Shanks. With me today, John Sitton, Alan Hudson. How are we doing, gentlemen? Everybody okay?
All good. All good.
All good?
Nervous.
Nervous? Nervous? We're all nervous. And I should think they're a bit nervous at the bridge right now. Chelsea v Palace today. Your old team and your old team.
I know.
So, lead us through. What do you think?
I think it's a great fixture because Palace have started really well. They look good, they look sharp, they look confident. Your man Sahar looks... I see a show on him the other night about him. I understand him a little bit more now. I've always fancied him as a player. I think he's going to be a big danger today. And the way Chelsea fullbacks are playing, which West Brom exploited last week, I think he's going to look forward.
Yeah, he might definitely could get advanced to them and create havoc if he's on his game. What do you think, John?
I think it's a massive game for a number of reasons. I think Frank's under a little bit of pressure. I think it's fair to say that. They've signed, they've backed him with a few quid. They've signed some decent reinforcements, but they still look vulnerable at the back. And I think if Palace score first, the way they set up, right, it's imperative to me that Chelsea, being one of my old clubs, that they score first. Because if Palace score first, I think they'll concede the ball. They'll go back to their block of 8,
yeah,
and call Chelsea onto them. And then, like you've mentioned, Zaha, blistering pace. And even him, the boy Townsend.
I don't think Frank's got the right system yet, has he?
No.
I know, we've got Werner up front, who's obviously, done well for Leipzig and scoring plenty of goals for Germany. He looks out of sorts to me. He's sort of like hanging out towards the left wing where we're expecting him to go through the middle, showing a bit of pace.
We know one thing for sure today, and Palace are going to make it so tough for Chelsea.
Yeah.
They get people back. They defend well. And they'll have an eye on this fella, but they really do. Roy Hudson is a good club manager. They're going to make it hard for Chelsea today, and they're going to work for any kind of result they get. And they've also got to be careful that Palace are really lively on the break. This is going to be a terrific game, and Frank ain't going to have it all his own way. Sometimes you can play teams at home and think, well, we can batter them and batter them, and hope you're going to get a goal. But this is a two-way street today.
I mean, we know there's shocks in football. I mean, my mate's a Baggies fan, and like last week at half-time it's 3-0.
Yeah.
And I've actually rang him. I said, I can't believe it. I said, they've got the wrong shirts on, haven't they? They've got the wrong shirts. This can't be 3, but it could have been 4 or 5. Chelsea can't play like that against Palace today.
Yeah. But then again, with West Brom, that's they're one of the reasons why I've got them down as possible candidates along with Fulham.
Right.
If it's 3-0, it should be game, set, and match for me. You know what I mean? At that level, and the fact that it wasn't.
Well, Chelsea were very lucky. There was West Brom that was at the other end of the pitch because another team would have just dipped their bread there.
You mentioned Timo, and out of watching him, just the highlights. Obviously, I only watch the highlights. But for me, he's shone in terms of he's very proactive, very direct, and he tries to make things happen. But how ironic was it, with all the purchases they've made out, like the 3-3, it was all homegrown talent that got the goals.
Yeah.
Hudson, Adoy, Tammy, and Mason Mount got the goals. I thought it was heavily ironic, just my opinion. I mean, they've laid all the money out, and then it's homegrown talent that's pulled them out of the mire, really.
I mean, Pulisic, I like him. Is he fit now, or is he still out?
Don't know, but the sooner he gets back, the better.
Well, he does make a difference because he goes straight at them. He makes defenders think. He makes them make decisions, and a lot of times the defenders make the wrong one. That'll open up a bit of space for Werner to get going. Mason Mount to come in.
You speak for yourself.
When you look at Liverpool, Liverpool have got a team together now. Now you pretty much know who's playing every week. Frank hasn't got a clue what his best team is.
Yeah.
They're 3 games into the season. This is their 4th game. He hasn't got a clue. They're all over the place at the back. He doesn't know his best midfield. He doesn't know the shape of his...
What about 3 goalkeepers?
3 goalkeepers. Not only that, I think you find it that
he needs 3 goalkeepers
in at one time.
He's dabbled with different formations as well. So we know as ex-players, you like to be a player, a person of habit. And,
Yeah.
and you understand what I mean? And the game's about good habits. But what sets the precedent is the shape of the side and like the selection. And I think you'll find he's had 2, 3, 4 different shapes,
But
formations, whatever you want to call it.
also I think the belief in the manager from the players. I don't know if there's a little bit of doubt creeping in, whether they're sort of like, I'm playing out of position, like Kante, whatever. I like Kante, but he doesn't seem to be doing it at the moment. You know,
Kante is not the same player as he was at Leicester, that's for sure.
No, I mean,
he was the best.
he was a handful going forward. He was defensively good. He was
Screening the centre backs, he was the best in the world.
I'd say so, John. Yeah.
So what the previous manager mucked him about?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Putting him here and saying, I want him to play further forward. Was the only reason for him playing further forward, but for me, would be in the same position that the whole team's got to squeeze up. So when he's screening the centre backs or the back four, he's actually doing the same job but pinching the ball further up the field. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah. He's more effective like that.
Yeah, he is, without a shadow of a doubt. But he's been mucked about. But if you're going to, he likes the other geezers, doesn't he? He keeps him. Is a thing there where he keeps calling out to him from the touchline. That's Jorginho.
Right, yeah.
I think he calls him George for short. No, he does. So you can see him on the touchline. So we know you get managers who fancy him, managers who don't fancy him.
Yeah.
So he fancies him over Kante, which I don't get.
No, me neither. So let's put our neck on the line. What's the score?
It's a game I wouldn't bet in.
I mean, Chelsea are 4 to 9 favourites to beat the Palace. 1 to 2.
Well, you've got to be a total mug to back Chelsea at 4 to 9.
Skinny, isn't it?
7 to 1 Palace. I could see it being a draw, obviously, but I couldn't back Chelsea with bad money. They just, I don't see how they make them favourites anyway, because they're not.
You're not playing well.
3-0 down at West Brom. They were lucky at Brighton.
Yeah.
They played Liverpool at home. They got totally outclassed, and now all of a sudden these bookmakers are getting it all wrong at the moment. They're getting lucky. They made Man City favourites at the beginning of the season.
Well, the home field advantage now doesn't really seem the big advantage it's been in the past when we had the crowds in there.
If I'm saying what I'm saying, it's because I care.
Yeah.
Because Chelsea's one of my ex-clubs.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go against them.
No.
However, I think Chelsea have got to score first.
Right.
Because I think if Palace score first, Don, I just think they'll sit back and hit them on the break.
So are you with Chelsea?
I'm going to go Chelsea 2-1.
Alan, you with Chelsea?
I wouldn't back Chelsea today.
But
no.
you think they'll win?
Scramble
home?
I wouldn't back them. If I say I wouldn't back them, that means I don't fancy them to win.
Right.
I fancy Palace with no. They got no problems with. They won't go there. Any pressure, any nerves. He'll just go and tell them to play. Chelsea are in trouble. I think they're under a lot of pressure.
Sure.
Both at management level and personnel level.
Yeah.
I think there's a few players whose necks on the
There's a lot of
line.
coming and goings. Yeah.
I had 5 good years out of 6. So I've got a romantic notion, a romantic attachment to the club that I'm not going to break. I don't know, I'll rose-tinted glasses. We're all guilty, aren't we? You with Brighton.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, but
well,
you
listen,
never
I'm going to sit on the fence. I'm going for a draw, 1 apiece. That's where I'm going. Now, listen,
Well, you're the
Sport
champ.
Funding Initiatives have kindly put up a charity bet for us, 20 quid apiece. We've all got our selection.
Yeah.
So let me get it right, John. You've gone for a 4-timer. Chelsea to win,
Bold.
Man City to win,
Bold.
Everton to win, and Newcastle Burnley a draw.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Alan, you've
I've gone bold enough.
You have. You've actually stuck your neck right out here. Alan's gone for Everton against
I'm
my
going
old team.
to add Palace to that too.
You can add Palace?
Yeah.
You can't because
I know you already put it on.
So you got Everton and Leicester. Now I've gone for a treble, but both teams to score. Chelsea and Palace, Everton and Brighton, and Leeds and Man City. So we'd like to thank Sport Fund Initiatives. We're going to catch up with you guys a bit later on. So enjoy the game, guys, and everybody stay safe. Talk later. Thank you.